सर मैं आपको थोड़ा यहाँ पर ना इंट्रिग करके पूछता हूँ एक बात सर। आप जब पर्सनल इंटरव्यू लेते हैं 90% आर चांसेस कि आप उस स्टूडेंट कहते हैं दैट अगर तुम इस परफॉर्मेंस के साथ जाओगे यू आर गोइंग टू डैम श्योर रिजेक्टेड। वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू टू सेल्फ सिलेक्शन बोर्ड अ वन स्टेप टुवर्ड्स यूनिफॉर्म। मेरा नाम है शुभम वार्ष्णेय और जिनको आपने भी देखा वो थे मेजर जनरल बाकुनी साहब। मेजर जनरल बाकुनी साहब का मैंने ये पहला इंटरव्यू नहीं है जो आप देखने जा रहे हैं, इससे पहले मैंने 2 इंटरव्यू और ली हैं। दोनों की अपनी खास बात थी। यहाँ पर जहाँ आप लोगों को पता होगा कि फ्रेशर जो होता है उसका गोल्डन अटेम्प्ट होता है, वहीं रिपीटर को इस बात का डर होता है कि अब उसके चांसेस कम हैं। इस बात की क्लैरिटी इस वाले वीडियो में मैंने की थी। इसके बाद दूसरा जो इंटरव्यू मेरे दिल के बहुत खास है वो है सेकंड वाला, वो है मेजर जनरल बाखनी साहब का कोविड-19 के दौरान का इंटरव्यू। उसमें मेजर जनरल बाखनी साहब ने एक चीज के बारे में बताया, वो था डोमिनोज इफेक्ट। और ये जो डोमिनोज इफेक्ट है वो बता सकता है आपको तरीका कि कैसे जो परमवीर चक्र विजेता होते हैं उन जैसी हैबिट्स अपनी डेली लाइफ में ला सको। और इसी के साथ में आगे चल रहा हूं, तो इन दोनों के लिंक मैंने आपके सामने डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में डाल दिए हैं। तो अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। अब यहाँ पर बढ़ने की बात यह है कि यहाँ पर एक इंसान है, जो इंसान आपको दिख रहा है वो इंसान बाखुनी सर का स्टूडेंट रह चुका है और वो 9th अटेम्प्ट में जाकर रिकमेंड हुआ था। अब उसके कुछ अचीवमेंट्स थे, जैसे वो बेस्ट कैडेट रह चुका था, पीएम मोदी से अवार्ड मिल चुका था, गवर्नर्स मेडल मिल चुका था और उसके बाद जाकर वो रिकमेंड हुआ 9th अटेम्प्ट में। अब यहाँ पर बात ये आती है कि 9th अटेम्प्ट में कैसे हो गया। और सर की एक बात बताता हूँ खास, जनरल बाखुनी साहब की। जब भी वो किसी बंदे को असेस करते हैं उसके अगले या दूसरे अटेम्प्ट में जाकर वो इंसान रिकमेंड हो जाता है। तो इसी बात को मैंने सर के सामने रखा है, ध्यान से सुनिएगा और आप इस इंसान का इंटरव्यू भी दे सकते हैं। अब यहाँ से आगे बात लेकर आता हूँ। मैंने ये एक इंटरव्यू लिया था सागरिका सिंह का, ये भी एक रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट है। अब इनका जब मैंने इंटरव्यू लिया था तो मुझे एक बात पता लगी अंडर प्रेशर की। उन्हें इतनी अच्छी तरह से बताई थी कि मुझे मजा आ गया था। मैं चाहूंगा इसे आप देखें, क्योंकि इस बात को इंट्रीग करके मैं आगे इसी इंटरव्यू में कंटिन्यू कर रहा हूँ। तो अब मुलाकात करते हैं जनरल बाकुनी साहब से। जय हिंद साहब।
Jahan, Shubham, wonderful meeting you again after a small gap.
Sir, it's always love to meet you, sir. But I am damn surprised of your results. I am damn surprised of your results. I was called by the your recommended candidates, Jashikant Reddy and Mintu also, who are recently got recommended, and they say, "Sir, words are magical. Sir, words are magical." I was shocked. What is there? Mintu को तो मैं पर्सनली जानता हूँ सर, उनकी फोटो भी देख पा रहे हैं, मेरे साथ 9th अटेम्प्ट में ऐसी टेक एंट्री में था वो। और वहां पर वो कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हो गया था जब 9th अटेम्प्ट में था वो मेरे साथ। अब यहाँ पर मैं जानना चाह रहा हूँ आपके मेंटरशिप में ऐसा क्या है कि आता है तो कुछ नहीं है और जब जाता है तो रिकमेंड होकर आता है वापस। व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट सर?
Shubham, let me tell you. In fact, when I spoke to you first time, I wanted Shubham also to come to our academy.
या आई रिमेंबर द वर्ड्स
Trust,
सर।
trust me, you remember my words because Shubham, it is nothing that I have some magical band or something. It's not like that. Shubham, I know very well. Let me tell you, large number of repeaters are working very hard. Large number of candidates. And can you believe, Shubham, they are just in the borderline, just in the borderline. Somebody has to guide them, mentor them. How from borderline they can just take a small move forward. It is only that. Let me tell you, I have done no magic. I have just made them realize their mistakes, their blind spots, and where they can focus on. That's all I have done, which unfortunately, Subha, most of the candidates do not know. Once I interview them, I virtually diagnose their personality. And it's a bit of push, and they make it.
सर मैं आपको थोड़ा यहाँ पर ना इंट्रीग करके पूछता हूँ एक बात सर। आप जब पर्सनल इंटरव्यू लेते हैं 90% आर चांसेस कि आप उस स्टूडेंट कहते हैं दैट अगर तुम इस परफॉर्मेंस के साथ जाओगे यू आर गोइंग टू डैम श्योर रिजेक्टेड। सर इसका सबसे बढ़िया एग्जांपल है ऋतिक। ही वाज रिकमेंडेड इन द 9th अटेम्प्ट। आपने उसका पर्सनल इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट किया था पूरी क्लास के सामने एंड यू फेल्ड हिम। लैक ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एबिलिटी, लैक ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस, ओवरवेट पर्सन, आपने सारी चीजें कर दी थी एंड दैट पर्सन गेट रिकमेंडेड इन अ वेरी नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट। दिस इज द ट्रेडमार्क की मैक्सिमम टाइम आपने जिसका भी इंटरव्यू लिया है वो रिजेक्ट हुआ है आपके यहाँ, और आपने कुछ उसे बता दिया है एंड देन ही गॉट रिकमेंडेड इन अ वेरी नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट।
Yes, Shubham, I will tell you. As I discussed with you, they are borderlines. Obviously, a borderliner will not pass in my interview. But one thing, let me tell you, you just gave the example of Ritik. Yes, he got through in the ninth attempt. You know, when I interviewed him, this chap was a borderline. And
Okay.
now look at his problem. One, this man was overweight. Firstly, I told him he got to be physically fit because his self-esteem also gets affected by his low physical fitness. And second thing, this man had a bit of communication problem. He used to speak a little too fast. And last point was the level of confidence was not up to the mark. I only told him these three things and I told him how to go about it. And can you believe it? I was very sure. But when I gave him, and you'll be surprised, I gave him 1 mark less than the pass marks because I can't pass him. He was not passable then. And if I give him little less, he knows where he stands and he also knows he has to work. So, because if I pass him, I become too liberal, then he may go wrong. He may get wrong news. So I failed him, and that's the reason people who are borderliners get recommended very quickly in the very next attempt. There have plenty of cases like that in our academy.
सर मैं एक यहाँ से एक सवाल आपके सामने प्रोसीड करना चाहूंगा जो एक सवाल है जो हर डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट से पूछता है और रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट जवाब देता है बी योरसेल्फ बी ऑनेस्ट और इनफैक्ट अगर किसी एसएसबी एसएसएल से पूछ ले तो भी सुनने को मिलता है बी योरसेल्फ बी ऑनेस्ट। अब सर एक ऐसा बच्चा है जो कि सुबह लेट उठता है, लाइफ अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, डिसिप्लिन रखता नहीं है, किसी भी चीज में अपना 100% देता नहीं है और कहीं ना कहीं स्पोर्ट्स में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, ओवरवेट है। क्या आप ऐसे इंसान को जो आपके सामने पर्सनल इंटरव्यू में आ रहा है या जीटीओ में आ रहा है वो सबको सच बता दे, सर मैं तो ऐसा इंसान हूं, क्या आप रिकमेंड कर लेंगे?
Obviously, if he lacks, he's indisciplined, he's casual, he's careless, as you are telling me, he's overweight, obviously we will not. There's no question. But you know, your question has another twist. That be honest, be original. Let me tell you, Subham. You know, a candidate who's not original, a candidate who's faking, a candidate who's saying something, but his body language is speaking a different language. We catch them. It's better to tell the truth. It is better to be honest rather than just acting as a fake. A fake chap can never pass. But a lazy guy who has got wonderful qualities otherwise, who has got one or two, you know, not so, who had one or two issues with him, may still pass. Let me tell you this, because no one is perfect. We understand that. We
Okay.
are looking at a personality. So, but the moment you are fake, the moment you have a put-on kind of behavior, the moment you are acting like a successful candidate, which you are, you know, you are copying, we will catch you. And let me tell you, Shubham, it is very easy because the candidate speaks something, his body is speaking something else. They are in mismatch. So it is very easy to catch them. So a fake candidate will get caught, it will harm him more. It's better to be original, better to be truthful. So he has a better chance. That's what I will say.
Okay, you are saying better be truthful, do not fake because you are expert over there. You have n number of aspirant. सवाल सर फिर वही रहेगा। अब यहाँ पर डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट सोचेंगे ठीक है मेरे में कुछ कमियां हैं, मैं वो दिखा दूंगा, ऑनेस्टली सर को बता दूंगा, सर को ये बात पता लग जाएगी और बाकी मैं सब कुछ अच्छा अच्छा दिखा दूंगा, सर को भी लग जाएगा कि मैं कितना ऑनेस्ट हूँ एंड आई एम श्योरली गोइंग टू गेट रिकमेंडेड नाउ।
But let me tell you, Subham, you know, yet this man is actually faking. He's trying to only show off part of his color, but his true color is inside. And it is the job of the experienced interviewing officer to find his true color. So, you know, minor defects, let me tell you, as I told you, number of candidates come who had, we understand that he has a bit of issue, but overall we find him reasonably good. We find him a potential candidate. We might overlook for the sake of ensuring that a balanced and potential candidate gets selected. That's the reason there are a number of candidates who are borderliner. They are discussed in the conference. Why they are discussed? Because they have some problems. And we see how genuine, how serious is this problem is. And we may, after discussion, may pass him. So, you know, minor issues, candidates may get through. You know, that's why there is a merit. There are people who pass with different, marks. There are candidates who pass with all the three SSRs. There are candidates who pass with two SSRs. There are candidates who get clear. They have been passed with by one SSR and failed by two. There is a difference in candidates, Subham. So But yet, your question is very, very pertinent because the candidates have to be told that better they change their habits, better they live the routine which they are going to tell because they will, if they speak the truth, they will be in sync with their body language. They will be in sync with themselves. They will have confidence in telling the truth. If he's a lazy, rather than saying lazy in the conference or in the interview, he should, before the SSB, a month before, change his routine to a perfect routine so that whatever he says about himself, he speaks the truth. He's actually following the routine at least for a month.
ग्रेट। अब सर मैं आपके वर्ड को कॉन्साइज करूं, आप कह रहे हैं कि अपनी पर्सनैलिटी को चेंज करो, देन टेल द ऑनेस्ट एंड बी योरसेल्फ, देन यू विल श्योरली गेट रिकमेंडेड। एम आई राइट सर ओवर हियर?
100% right. There is no doubt on that.
Okay, now let me dig in. So I've always hear about your mentorship club at a highest level of the peak about everything. Like people say, I was there before, but right now I understand that I am changing my personality right now. I am transforming into different personality. अब मुझे यहाँ पर एक शिकायत आपसे है, और शिकायत ये है कि आप मेरी कॉल नहीं उठाते, एंड दैट वाज वन ऑफ द रीजन इज कि यू ऑलवेज रिमेन इन टच विद द स्टूडेंट, यू आर डैम सो बिजी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट। एक बात बताइए सर, आए दिन आपके पास एनरोलमेंट होता होगा, आई एम डैम श्योर अबाउट इट, इन योर कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट रोज बच्चे आ रहे हैं मेंटरशिप क्लब में, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि रिकमेंडेशन जब तक नहीं होगा तब तक हम तुम्हारे साथ रहेंगे। देन आप ये बताइए, इतने बच्चे हो जाएंगे, आप सबको टाइम दे पाएंगे? इज इट पॉसिबल?
So, Subham, you rightly asked this question. And let me tell you, if a person opts for mentorship club, automatically he's being looked after by our efficient system. Imagine an interview with myself, a psych test with me and my psychologist, along with that, a personality development course and an SSB course. So imagine what else is required. And thereafter, I am talking to him every 15th day. And when he goes for the SSB, he can give a direct call to me. I will find a time for him and we will talk. In case there is last minute issue, I will just boost his morale up. And let me tell you, Subham, it is a full assured kind of, shall I call it a package or shall I call it a kind of, uh, assured kind of, I don't find the right word for it. If you can find, I will say the same thing.
वेल मैं सर से इतना ही कहूंगा कि ये जो आप कर देते हैं ना ये सब चीजें, मेरे पास भी शब्द नहीं है, लेट मी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज लेवल ऑफ टाइम आपको और मुझे तो पता ही है कि मैं आपका अपॉइंटमेंट 10 बार लेता हूँ, ये इंटरव्यू एक हफ्ते पहले होना था, ये इंटरव्यू एक हफ्ते बाद हो रहा है। द रीजन इज दैट यू आर गिविंग सो मच टाइम टू द पीपल, एंड दैट्स रियली गुड सर। मतलब मुझसे ज्यादा आसान अपॉइंटमेंट लेना बाकियों के लिए हो जाता है जो आर्म फोर्स ज्वाइन करना पा रहे हैं, एंड दैट्स रियली गुड सर, दैट्स अमेजिंग सर। बट यहाँ पर एक सवाल और लेकर आता हूँ। We heard it a lot that SSB is a game of personality. Assessors are looking towards the personality. बट यहाँ पर एक बात समझ नहीं आ रही, आप करंट अफेयर को इतना एम्फेसिस क्यों देते हैं? द पर्सन हु इज नॉट रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर, नॉट नोइंग अबाउट द वर्ल्ड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज नॉट एट ऑल suitable for armed forces. Why so?
Yes, Subham, we do give importance to the uh, current affairs or general awareness, I will call it. But not that kind of importance as you are saying. We are focusing mainly on his personality. And if I give you an example, you will be amazed. The general awareness is just icing on the cake. It
Okay.
means, yes, as a leader, you got to be aware what is around you. And look at this. What we are finding out from his personality is we want to see his ideas about what is happening. How does he express his ideas? Does he have his own opinion? What does he feel about the India China problem? What does he feel about the India Pakistan? What does he feel about the CAA? What is his opinion about it? What does he feel about? It is his ideas about those issues which give us his depth of mind, his analysis, his reasoning ability, his practical intelligence. Look at this. It gives us a very, very good input. But there is a big but. Because of the general awareness, a candidate can never pass, or just because of the general awareness, a candidate will not fail. Yes, his impression becomes better. I will give you a very, very interesting example. There was a candidate with me. I still remember it, and many times I have quoted this example. I remember an NDA candidate. He was doing so well in my interview, exceedingly well. And I asked him general knowledge question. and I wanted to put him under pressure. I just wanted to see his reaction. How this boy works under pressure? I asked him one question, a bit difficult. I asked him second, third, fourth, fifth, and that boy really came under pressure. He became a bit anxious now because he was a very cool, calm, and good boy. And can you believe it? After the fifth question, he lost his temper. He lost his nerves. And you know what did he tell me? He exactly told me, sir, how do you expect me to know all these general knowledge questions which you are asking? Just 2 days before I appeared for my JEE main, and before that I was busy in the 12th exam. Here I am in front of you. I took the flight yesterday, and yesterday I was in the stage one, and today on the very first day after the site test you are interviewing me. I never had, sir, to prepare any general awareness question, and he couldn't answer a single one. And Shubham, let me tell you very interesting thing. Can you believe I gave him one of the highest marks? I gave him 135 marks, which is unheard of. I'm claiming it here. 135 marks I gave him. Why? Not because he was not well. I liked his frankness, forthrightness, because he, in any case, was doing very well. See this, I said that is a icing on the cake. I was looking at his personality. He was a wonderful person. Had he not lost his temper ना थोड़ा सा he got anxious.
हाँ
अगर वो थोड़ा सा फिर भी cool रहता तो he would have got 150 from me, which is my highest marks. I would have given him 150 also. And 135 marks, if you ask from any assessor, he will say it's too much. But he deserved it. An NDA guy, such a wonderful personality, where will you get him? Like such kind of good personalities. So what I'm trying to say, yes, general awareness matters. I can't say it doesn't matter. You know, it also gives a lot of inputs to me. His ideas, as I told you, his depth of mind. But it is not the selection criteria. It is not. It has to be mixed, seen along with his overall personality. That's what the candidate should understand.
ठीक है सर, मैं मतलब बुरा मत मानेंगे, मैं आपसे एक ही सवाल बार बार पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे यकीन नहीं हो रहा है. हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल टू यू गिव अ पर्सनल अटेंशन टू एवरी स्टूडेंट? साइक टेस्ट आप चेक कर रहे हैं, इंटरव्यू आप ले रहे हैं, एसएसबी कोर्स आप ले रहे हैं, every 15 days you are talking to him, before SSB night you are talking to him. How is it really possible? How is it really possible? It is going above my head. मैं इतनी चीजें नहीं कि मतलब शेड्यूल कर पाता हूँ. आप कैसे कर पा रहे हो इतनी सारी चीजें?
Subham, frankly speaking, my routine is really fixed, and I'm running the most successful academy also of the country today. Let me tell you, it is most crowded. It is simply division of your time, but I have got my staff to help me. I've got a wonderful staff. But you know, happen in the site test, I get one input from my psychologist, but I have to read it before I give it. I read all his stories, all. Can you believe all his TATs, WATs, and the SATs I read it. But I also get an input. But in the interview, I simply enjoy this process. And the interview also goes on to, from individual to individual, 1 hour to 1.5 hour. It is just managing time. That's why my interviews are already booked for 25 days, next 25 days. That's why people have to book it well in advance. Because, and I fixed in a day, I never exceed minimum 2, maximum 3. That is my, if my day is reasonably free, I will only take 3 interviews, and which is possible. Because in the SSB, I have taken 6 interviews in a day. So,
Okay.
and so we are able to manage it.
ग्रेट ग्रेट. तो मतलब आप जो स्टूडेंट अगर चाहता है आपकी मतलब गाइडेंस, तो इसको टाइम लेना ही पड़ेगा पहले से. ग्रेट.
Yeah.
यहाँ से जरा मैं आगे चलता हूँ. द मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल बिलीव दैट पर्सनल इंटरव्यू हैज मोर वेटेज एज कंपेयर टू जीटीयू एंड साइक. इज इट ट्रू सर?
Suman, no, technically it is not. Let me tell you, all the 3 assessors, as is very evident, are equally important. They all have 225, 225, 225 marks. So each assessor is equally important. Yes, yet the interviewing officer does play a little more important role simply because either he's a president or he's a deputy president or he's a senior most officer, interviewing officer, who's, you know, the psychologist and the GTO will respect his opinion. And let me tell you, one thing is a fact that the interviewing officers are much more liberal in giving marks. Interviewing officer will give you marks easily from 100 to 135 is, you know, quite a few will give the marks.
Okay.
But usually a GTO and A psychologist may not give that kind of marks. That's the reason the interviewing officers become a kind of important kind of reason for them to clear the assessment.
Okay.
So because of their liberal approach, because of their they don't have to, because nobody has to and they do not have to answer to anyone, and they are reasonably experienced and senior people. They are pretty liberal in their approach, and therefore their opinion during the conference also counts. Though everybody's opinion in the conference is equally important, but again the conference marks are which are 225. You can imagine they are divided 56 with the GTO, 56 with the psychologist, and the interviewing officer has 113 marks. Though it is not actually he is allotting these marks, these are simply uh, allotted based on the discussion in the conference, and proportionately they are allotted. But overall, let there be no doubt that interviewing officer plays a key role, yet all the three techniques are equally important. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now let me take you in a much more deeper of it. In a personal interview case, when there's a fresher, there's personally believe in defense aspirant that you take a liberty on freshers. That's why they personally believe that fresher is a golden opportunity. Where in the case of repeater, you completely change the format of PI, you completely change the format of interview. In the change of because of these format change, the repeaters interview become extremely intense and extremely difficult. Am I right, sir?
Yes, you are right. Just the format, you will agree, Sumam. It's a common sense approach. A chap who has come 5, 6 times, if you follow the same process, he's going to get bored. He's going to say, "Ki, what is happening? We have to make it little different, more challenging for him. To understand his personality, we may have to put him a bit under pressure. Now, look at this. What is the first thing you are wanting to know from a repeater is his own analysis, his own introspection of his last or his best attempt. Why did he not make it in his last attempt? Let me tell you, whatever is his analysis tells a lot about the candidate. By this very analysis, let me tell you, he tells so much about himself, because later on, after about 15, 20 minutes, I will be able to make out whether he is speaking truth or not. He says, sir, last time he failed because of the communication skills or journal awareness. I will see whether he has worked actually now on that. Because my question is, how have you prepared now for this SSB? So if he has understood his shortcomings, which will match with my findings, if he has worked over on them, then I definitely get a positive view of the candidate. Otherwise, Subham, interestingly, you may not be aware, most of the candidates tell you fake answer, duplicate answer, unoriginal answer. You know what they will say? Sir, last time I got screened out because it was a complete washout. Or they will never blame themselves. They will put the blame on the system, or they will say, sir, it became a fish market, sir. And they will even blame the interviewing officer. Sir, I went for the interview, and interviewing officer was a bit angry, and my interview finished in 10 minutes, sir. How do you think I will give my performance? People have told me this, sir, in the GTO, sir. My command task finished in 1 minute, sir, because they have already decided that I'm going to fail. Look at this. Look at this. What do you feel about this candidate? Because they will not pass in my interview also, because I know SSB is an absolutely foolproof system. And the people out there are very experienced and master of their profession. So you blame the system, you blame the people, and you don't blame yourself where you lack. I like a candidate who understands himself. He finds his own mistake correctly. Look at it. That makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Great. So now the two questions has come up. Number one, there are the freshers who are coming from the coaching institute. They know in and out. They know how to fake it and many things which are told by many coaching institutes, right? Now a question arises in my head over here that how did you judge then a fresher? क्या फ्रेशर अब कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट से आया तो भी आप उसके साथ इस बात की लिबर्टी रखेंगे कि चलो इसका नॉर्मल जो फॉर्मेट है उसी फॉर्मेट में करते हैं या अब यहाँ पर आप रिपीटर की तरह उसे ट्रीट करेंगे क्या होगा अब यहाँ पर मतलब
A good question again. Shubham, yes, let me tell you, some of the candidates we do even ask, have you taken a coaching? And if he tells yes, then obviously we will put him under different kind of work pressure. And
एक मिनट सर, यहाँ पर अब मैं आपको कह देता हूँ, कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट बता के भेजते हैं, बताना मत कि मैं कोचिंग से आया हूँ, वरना वो तुम्हें
well,
ट्रीट ही अलग करेंगे।
let me tell you, if Evan, let me tell you, there are candidates who tell. I can give you numerous examples where I have passed them. In the SSB, as a president, you can note it down, you can claim, I claim that. You know, Evan is such truthful, it just depends on the maturity of the interviewing officer or the staff who are dealing with the candidate. And let me tell you, most of us are very mature. So what if he's taken a coaching? Tell me, Subham, which examination today doesn't have a coaching? Yeah, right from the civil services to IIT to medical, and SSB is a very tough selection system. If people are not coached, then how the hell they will perform? But we want to see, coaching institute also has a problem. I will very frankly admit. Candidate also has a problem. He goes for the coaching 10, 15 days before and goes very blindly, and becomes a different person and comes thereafter, he is bound to failure. So that's why we from the SSP may not like a person who is coached very blindly. We want people who is mentored, who's guided, who maintains his originality. Most of the coaching students, they try to change his originality. That is the whole bloody problem. And let me tell you, if the candidate ever tells, sir, he has been coached, I can give you hundreds of examples. A mature assessor will put him under pressure, try to understand his personality in a better manner, but will not and should not take it against him. It shows actually, Sumam, see the kind of interest the candidate has taken. He's gone a step forward. He's taken the initiative to learn more. He's motivated about the armed forces. He's passionate about it. Look, I mean, coaching is showing so many positive qualities about the candidate. But
Okay.
yes, I do. I have also been given this feedback. A lot of assessors take, unfortunately, a negative view of this, which they should not. But a mature assessor will understand that this is a natural requirement. Okay? And even I can claim here, the assessors' children themselves come for coaching. I can claim I have got a large number of names like this, and because the assessor himself understands there is nothing wrong. Because imagine if he comes for 15, 20 days, imagine he does the obstacles, he improves his physical fitness, he improves the team spirit, he improves, various practices he can do here. So it actually improves the candidate overall, it boosts up his personality. Yeah.
ओके ओके, तो मैं आपकी बात यहाँ पर समझ के ये समझ पा रहा हूँ कि अगर बच्चा कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट से भी गया है, कहीं से सीख कर, इवन बीइंग अ फ्रेशर, तो उसको ये बात अपने सामने रखनी होगी कि उसने अपनी जर्नी फ्रॉम ए टू बी, मतलब वो कहाँ था और आज उसने अपनी जर्नी कैसे कन्वर्ट करी अपनी लाइफ, वो उसको सामने रखनी पड़ेगी। वो खाली फेक आंसर नहीं कह सकता कि बैच वॉश आउट हो गया था लास्ट टाइम इस वजह से, तो मैंने एक बार कोचिंग जाके ट्राई कर लिया था सर, क्या पता वहां जाकर हो जाए। ऐसे वो जवाब नहीं दे सकता। एम आई राइट सर?
As I told you, Shubham, I would like his own analysis, and the analysis should be correct.
ओके।
And what actions he has taken about himself. Does he understand himself? Does he
हम्म
genuinely understand his shortcomings?
हम्म
Has he taken genuine steps to improve upon that? I
ओके।
will again quote an example to you. I remember a candidate, I just recollected this example. There was a candidate who came in the fifth attempt. And he was a borderliner with me when I was interviewing him. Can you believe, Shubham, I took his interview for 1.5 hours? Because till the time I'm not really sure in my mind, I will not pass it.
ओके।
And I kept asking questions because he was just not going up, not going down. And he was a well coached candidate, he was a repeater. But I wanted to see genuinely has he improved himself. And can you believe after about an hour and a half, I realized he's actually taken genuine steps. His all those things which he had mentioned has actually improved, and I could make out that he was lacking in those things. Through coaching, he has improved, and through his own hard work, he's really improved. And I passed him. I passed him, and he ultimately, I remember, he cleared in the conference also.
ग्रेट सर। यहाँ पर मैं एक बात यहाँ पर लिखना चाहूँगा कि जब आपकी, आई एम श्योर आपको तो काफ़ी लोग जानते भी हैं, यू बीन जस्ट रिसेंटली रिटायर्ड, एंड आपकी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट से भी बच्चे जाते होंगे, एंड श्योरली बच्चे ये भी बताते होंगे सर मैं तो ऐसे भी शॉर्ट शॉर्ट से आया हूँ। एंड समवॉट ये फ्रेशर के साथ मैंने देखा है जब आपके यहाँ से जाते हैं, then they ask the question and they said their life is again transformed. सर मैं बार-बार ये एक ही सवाल आप सोच रहे होंगे, एक ही सवाल क्यों पूछ रहा है? प्लीज मतलब देखिए, पर्सनल इंटरव्यू बहुत जगह होता है, साइक टेस्ट भी बहुत जगह होता है, एसएसबी कोर्स भी बहुत जगह होता है, बट व्हाट इज देयर कि ऐसा क्या ट्रांसफॉर्म हो जाता है सर? आप फीडबैक ये देते होगे ना कि कहानी अच्छी नहीं लिखी या इंटरव्यू में ये गलती थी, तो ऐसा क्या रीजन है कि ट्रांसफॉर्म ऑफ द लाइफ क्यों कहते हैं? वो ये कहना चाहिए ना कि एसएसबी के प्रोसेस में ज्यादा अच्छा समझ में आ गया, उनको तो ये कहना चाहिए व्हाई दे डू से लाइक दीज थिंग्स, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ लाइफ.
Shubham, let me tell you this. You know, if you hear my opening address sometime here, you can also come over or see. You know, the kind of emphasis, the way we emphasize the candidate's originality is nobody's business. We tell them, even in the psychological test, why do you think I make them practice 50 of these tests, 5 full sets they practice here in the academy, because till the time they develop their thinking in a positive manner, just writing the story or making out a story and writing a syntax story will not help. That's the reason I tell them come 3 months before for the course. See this. Now what happens? Imagine his thinking also changes. The way he writes the stories, every time his pattern of thinking will change. And this, let me tell you, if you study the subconscious mind in the projective technique, it is a proven fact that after 21 days continuous approach, your thinking can also get changed,
Okay.
amended. And by the time you complete 64 days, you can be entirely different personality. See, your subconscious mind, Subham, can be transformed. And by what? By practice, by repetition, by making it a habit, by by continuously doing the same thing again and again. So your subconscious mind can be trained, and you will become a negative man, can become a positive man. Even our DIPR or our SSB centers, they say that all the qualities are equally trainable. What does it mean? It means you can be trained. You can learn these qualities. You can improve these qualities. That's what I'm saying. But the psychological process, I'm saying it's little long. That's the reason I recommend them to come 2 months before, because they will maintain their originality, and whatever they learn, it will be their original behavior. Your
Okay.
conduct behavior has to remain original, Subham. If you can maintain that, there is no question of you are getting caught, etc., because you are like that only. And I may tell them you write your original story, your chances will be better. Don't bloody transplant some story from here and there. Look at the picture and make a story based on the picture. How they will actually will do far better.
That's great, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Subham. What a pleasure it is. And this time you are looking smarter, yeah.
Thank you,
See,
sir. Thank you so much.
so at least come over for TA, and remember, I challenge it. You will become a TA officer very soon. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
and that's a promise. And I would like to see you in my academy someday. God bless. Shivam. What a pleasure it
Thank you,
was.
sir.
What a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.
Bye, sir.
God
Jai Hind,
bless.
sir.
मैं उनको रोज सोचता हूँ, मैं उनको रोज सोचता हूँ, वो है अंतिम पगों के निशान.